Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you do not know who I am by now guys, you can call me Queen B, perhaps you want to call me Beyonce, Butterful, Butlelicious, Bottles, or you can simply just call me B. If you like, you can also call me B Teacher. I am an English teacher in South Korea on the EPIK program. I live in Incheon and I teach at one elementary school teaching English to students in grades 3 all the way up to 6. Today's video is really important, guys. Have you ever wondered to yourself if EPIK is the only way to make it in South Korea? Have you asked yourself, oh my goodness, what happens if I fail? Does this mean that I can never work in a public school in Korea? Guess what, guys? I am here to tell you that you do not need to worry about actually acing your EPIK interview. Okay, wait. You do have to ace it though. But let's just say that you don't ace your EPIK interview. Are your chances for working in a public school really over? No, they're not. They're actually not. Let's first start off with EPIK. EPIK is the English program in Korea, and they are actually hired by the Ministry of Education in South Korea to recruit English teachers for the whole of South Korea. And what EPIK did is they then hired KORVIA as their agent to help them assist in recruiting teachers. The process is exactly the same, although KORVIA may differ just a little bit. I know that with transcripts, KORVIA will ask you to have 2 sets of transcripts, and if you're handing in your recommendation letters, they might sometimes ask you to have those letters signed in blue ink, because the blank ink sometimes looks like digital signatures. And I'm not too sure what other things that may have changed with the process, but what KORVIA requires is exactly what EPIK requires, just with minor changes. So let me start off by saying, if you are not confident enough with your application, perhaps it could be your essays, your lesson plan, or just your entire application. If you're feeling like, this one is, I'll make sure. Let me give you a tip, guys. I would suggest if you're in that situation, just go to KORVIA first, because you know why? Before you can actually work with KORVIA, they need you to actually first apply. They have an application form of theirs. You'll fill that in. Once you're done, they will go through it, and then they will get back to you to say, we are willing to work with you, or no, we are not working with you. If they work with you, guys, it means awesome, great. But if KORVIA comes back to you and they like, no, we're really sorry, we can't work with you guys, it's okay, believe it or not, but sometimes KORVIA actually rejects people for like the weirdest of things ever. They're not going to tell you why they reject you, just by the way, both EPIK and KORVIA, but people obviously know the application. So a person's actually able to say, oh no, I think I mentioned too many tattoos, or maybe I have too many allergies, or something along those lines. But if they say no to you guys, I honestly think you must try your luck directly with EPIK. The beauty of going through KORVIA first is that if they reject you, EPIK will never know that you tried to apply through KORVIA. However, if you go through EPIK directly and they reject you, it means you obviously can't go through KORVIA, because your application would have still been on their system. Do you get what I'm saying? Can I tell you something, guys? There are so many people who are rejected by KORVIA who made it directly through EPIK. So once KORVIA says no to you, don't give up. Go to EPIK directly. You're better off getting an email from EPIK saying rejection. And can I tell you something about that rejection, guys? It's not the end of the world. Just because EPIK said no to you or KORVIA said no to you, it does not mean that you still cannot work in public schools in South Korea. And this is where I come in with the information. So, besides EPIK and KORVIA, there's an agency called Korean Horizons that you can apply through. They actually take applicants for Changcheongnam-do province and Gyeongsang-nam-do province. It means that you can actually work in March, April, May, and September. There may have been other dates that have been introduced, but you will have to just find out from Alistair, and he is in charge of Korean Horizons. Guys, the application process remains the same. You will still require that you have your proof of English schooling letters and whatnot. Next up, we have the Gyeongsang-nam-do Office of Education. You can actually apply apply directly to this Office of Education. And I heard that you may actually even get a higher starting salary. So apply through them as well. And guys, let me tell you something. There's actually nothing wrong with applying through EPIK, Korean Horizons, and Gyeongsang-namdo province at the same time, because you don't know who is going to take you. If that doesn't work, guys, you can actually apply to the very same province, Gyeongsang-namdo province, with GOLDKEY. And Cliff is actually in charge of GOLDKEY. He's very helpful, guys. So you can just contact him and he will take you through the application process. If that doesn't work, guess what? You still have an opportunity. There is the JJ program, and it works just like all the others that I have just mentioned. I have put down emails for you guys so you can get further information. And I remember people were actually asking about the talk program as well, if it's back. I have no idea, because the last I heard of the talk program, it was in Jeollanam-do province. I don't know if it is still operating, but you can obviously go onto the internet and check that information out. All of these programs may actually require you to work at different times from what has been said on the internet. For example, with EPIK, we knew that we were starting in August, but there were teachers who were requested to arrive earlier because schools needed teachers. Sometimes you may be requested to arrive later, like with EPIK. If you send in your documents too late and spaces fill up for main intake, they will then obviously consider you for late intake. And oh, one more that is left is TEFL UK, guys. I actually don't have too much information about TEFL UK, but what I did hear is that they are also recruiting for EPIK. I think TEFL UK, Korean Horizons, GOLDKEY, they recruit for other parts of South Korea, where EPIK and KORVIA has the whole of South Korea. And let me tell you guys, the process to apply is very long. It's going to need some patience, and if I were you, I would actually start with documentation first, especially your PCC. Like I said, it takes very long. Coming with your SACA as well, that takes a bit of time, and then your documents have to still go to DERCO. Let me give you my timeline. So I applied on the EPIK website directly in February. The end of March, I had my interview. The 5th of April, I actually got results that I had passed. What a beautiful birthday present. And then I had to wait for my documents to be taken to DERCO. Very long wait, but the end of May, I then sent my documents to South Korea. My documents took like 3 days to arrive. I was then recommended to the Indian Office of Education. A few days after that, which is very early June, I got my placement. So it didn't take too long for me to get my placement. However, it could take you a bit long to get your placement, because remember, just before you get placements, we on the other side, like myself, still have to confirm with the Office of Education around June if we are renewing or not. Timelines are very different with Office of Education, because some of them actually get back to EPIK a bit later. Now, Hagwons, let's talk about those. Firstly, if you are trying to move from a Hagwon into EPIK, your process will be like ours. You apply exactly how we apply. However, the beauty of you applying from South Korea is that you will not need to get your apostille documents done again. You can actually get those at immigration. But unfortunately, you still need to send in your proof of English schooling letters, your recommendation letters, so on and so forth. So let me tell you a little bit about Hagwons. I'm not a Hagwon teacher. I don't have much information except the information I've done research on and the information that I do get from my amazing people whom I've connected with that work at Hagwons. Working at Hagwon in South Korea is like working at a private English academy. The working hours are different from ours. You can start working in the mornings or you can work in the afternoons, which is actually so beautiful. I mean, I'd like to honestly go to work at 11. Why must I wake up at like 7 in the morning? Why? I'm not even a morning person. Salaries. Ever since EPIK actually increased salaries, Hagwons are sitting more or less where EPIK is sitting for entry jobs, but you can obviously still negotiate for higher salary. With EPIK, there are no negotiations, guys. The salary is what it is. The other nice thing that I do love about Hagwons is that you get to see your apartment before you leave your country. You know, your director will send you pictures. You have an idea of where you're staying. You can even get your address. Unlike with EPIK where you're just coming in blindly. So I really love that about Hogwarts. Their application process is way more chilled than ours. Like, you're not going to spend 6 months going through this whole Hogwarts applications. First, let's start with interviews. The interviews are very chilled, guys. The documents that you need for Hogwarts are not like ours. They're not going to ask you proof of English schooling letters, recommendation letters. They are certainly not going to ask you for transcripts. If you can't do EPIK because of other reasons, Hogwarts are also still available. However, vacation days are not the same. EPIK gives you 26 vacation days, where with Hogwarts you'll get about 5 in summer, 5 in winter. They do obviously increase as the years go by. Sometimes there are people who are actually lucky to get more vacation days. I don't know how, but it does happen. With EPIK you get 11 sick leave days, and with Hogwarts you can get from 3 sick leave days upwards. And then we at EPIK have special leave days in case of family emergencies, death. However, with Hogwarts though, I'm yet to hear of a Hogwarts that has those special leave days inside the contract. I'm not saying that they don't give them to you. There are some Hogwarts that do give you special leave days. The whole EPIK Hogwarts conversation, the whole debate, oh, I think EPIK is better, I think Hogwarts is better. Guys, let me tell you, from my experience with EPIK and what I know, I would honestly still go for EPIK over Hogwarts any day, regardless of how long the process is. You have 26 vacation days, 26, versus something like 10 and 11. Already from vacation days, I would not be impressed with a Hogwarts. Salaries, yeah, Hogwarts can actually pay you a bit more, but I would rather take the vacation days over more salary because I need my time off. Like, vacation is really important for me. So if you're still confused about the two, guys, take the information that I've given you into consideration and then make a decision going forward. There are people who are failing their interviews and they're getting rejected even before interviews and they don't know why. I think I might know why. Remember, when you send in your application to EPIK or to KORVIA, you're basically sending in your CV. You are selling yourself on that application form. Here are some of the reasons why you could be getting rejected. Number one, your essays, guys. You know how they ask you essays about why you want to teach in South Korea, what your teaching philosophy is, and about cultural differences. Guys, those essays are very, very, very important. It's either something that you have written inside there is a big question mark or a big no-no to them. I don't know what it is, but in my experience of going through other people's applications, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've actually reached out to a few people who have been rejected, and just to say, they've rejected you like twice now. Why? There has to be something in that application. Do you mind if I can have a look at your application? And through doing that, I've actually spotted a few things, so it's your essays, guys. Number two, it's the lesson plan. Have you gone ahead to try and put together a lesson plan from the top of your head, or a lesson plan that you may have gotten from wherever you work in your country? Guys, you don't actually have to do that. You can go onto the internet. There are so many websites that have different lesson plans. You can tweak it the way that you obviously want to. Don't just copy and paste and just give it to them, because they're probably going to see it and make it your own. The other things are allergies and stuff, dietary requirements, guys. There is absolutely no need, and I'm saying this from a very good place, there is absolutely no need to tell EPIK or KORVIA that you don't eat bread or you don't eat cabbage. Those things are not going to prevent you from doing your job. So when they ask you about things like illnesses and stuff, think of illnesses that are going to prevent you from doing your job. Don't tell them about your likes and dislikes of certain foods. So be very careful about some of those things that you put in. Then we come around the issue of mental health, therapy, depression, anxiety and stuff. They do like to ask you, and to be honest with you, once you've answered yes to questions like that, 9 out of the 10 times they don't take you. So you can obviously decide what it is that you want to put in there. That's where I'm going to leave it. And then the other thing as well is tattoos, guys. Obviously, they want to see pictures of your tattoos. So if you do have tattoos, definitely disclose and let them know you've got tattoos. But you don't have to tell them that you've got piercings and tattoos down there or like up here where students are not going to see you, you know. And then once you do the interview, are you sticking in line with more or less the things that you've said? Or has somebody written your application for you? Because they can also tell, guys. Remember, when the work is yours and you've put down your thoughts, sometimes you obviously will not go word for word with what you've written down, but they can actually tell that, oh, okay, she's picking up a bit of this, a bit of that. Okay, no, it's her work. But once you come in and you're like a robot, oh, I want to work in South Korea because South Korea is such an amazing place and I want to wear a hanbok and I want to eat kimchi. I think BTS is so cool. They will question it. They will question it because when you do your interview, they have your application form right there and they look as you say things. That's why they even tell you when you have spelling mistakes and stuff, guys. The most embarrassing thing you would never want to go through is for them to say, there's an apostrophe missing on like line 3. You need to change that. Very embarrassing. So do your spelling check. Look at your punctuation marks, guys. You are interviewing for an English teacher's job. So we're actually not even supposed to have such mistakes as English teachers, are we? Anya, we're not. I think that's about it, guys, in this video. I hope I've mentioned everything that you can find useful. If you need more clarity, guys, you want to ask me some questions, please do not hesitate to ask them in the comment section. You can email me, you can Instagram me, or you can WhatsApp me if you are in the groups, guys. I do not bite. Yes, it is me. It is I, the queen with the B. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to tell you guys something very important. So besides the agencies that I mentioned, you can also get public school jobs through Facebook groups. There's a Facebook group. I'm going to find it for you guys. I'm going to hunt it down. I'm going to put it in this video. There are some recruiters who actually do post in jobs for public schools. Check the CRAIGLIST as well, guys. And guys, everybody who gets a job through EPIK, Korean Horizons, Jeju program, Gyeongsang-namdo province, all of those people who work in public school, they're part of EPIK. So let's also not try and make people feel excluded. Oh no, you're not EPIK. Because guess what, guys? The people who actually get hired right in time with the EPIK main and late intake actually attend orientation with us. So, Sisonke, we're together. We are all part of the EPIK brand. But yeah. Anyway, that's all from me, guys. Thank you so much for the support, the love. Sarangye, you guys are just so amazing. Good luck, guys. Good luck. You can do this.